Eh, how hard could this even be? I can do that. It's not that hard. Oh. So, YouTube is pretty hard. I mean, it's not like I thought it was easy, but you don't really get how hard it is until you actually try to make a YouTube video. I mean, just recording my audio was a nightmare to try to get it sounding even halfway decent. Okay, so YouTube videos are harder to make than it looks. Who cares? Why am I even talking about this? Well, it's because I started making YouTube videos pretty recently. Now, this wasn't the first time I had ever posted a YouTube video, but it was the first time where I actually tried to put some, effort into them. Now, I didn't start making these YouTube videos for money or for fame. God knows that if you want money, YouTube really isn't the place to go. No, the real reason I started was because I just wanted to get my thoughts out there, into the world. Ever since the pandemic, it's been difficult to meet new people and to talk about things that are on your mind. So I wanted to have a conversation, even if it was going to be a largely one-sided one. Now, I had learned from my previous experiences. I knew I wasn't going to blow up or become YouTube famous in just a couple videos. Hell, I knew I likely wouldn't even get 100 views. Instead, I tried to set up a realistic goal of getting maybe 5 to 10 views and a single comment in each of the videos I uploaded. Since I thought at the skill level I was at, I would be able to achieve that pretty quickly. But that never happened. Almost all of my videos never got more than a singular view. And that one view was for me checking that the video had worked. One of my videos did get 3 views, so that was nice, I guess. Okay, now look, I'm not trying to get any pity here. My videos were shit. They weren't good, but I was still surprised to see that literally no one saw any of my videos. And I think this is something that most people forget about. That most YouTube videos never actually get seen by anyone else other than the uploader. So when you're literally just starting out, it can be really difficult to attract even a tiny following of people who can watch your videos consistently. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. Plenty of people have done it before. And to see how one can get over this initial barrier, I'm going to try to see what I did wrong for my videos, point by point, so maybe I can find out how to truly get to the point where I can get 5 to 10 views each video. If there's one thing that I can instantly point out as a major flaw in my bad attempt at YouTube, would be a lack of consistency. Like, come on. I had only ever uploaded 3 videos, and one of them was literally only 6 seconds long. But why is it so important to upload videos constantly? Shouldn't the quality of the video matter more than the time between each video upload? Well, while the quality of the video is obviously more important, the time between each upload does matter. As an example, outside of YouTube, would you want to watch a TV show where each episode is released sporadically and seemingly randomly? Well, okay, obviously there are some examples of TV shows where their episodes are released sporadically and then doing well, but it's pretty obvious that those successful TV shows are successful in spite of this fact and not because of it. I mean, you might still watch a TV show that releases sporadically, but it would obviously be a lot harder for you to get invested into it. And the same reasoning applies to YouTube. Therefore, consistency is very important in sustaining a YouTube audience. But that doesn't really help me out in my specific situation. Sure, maintaining an audience is important, but I don't have an audience to maintain. So why is consistency important for a channel like mine? Well, at least in my eyes, it's because for every single video you post on this website, when you're as small as me, it's like throwing something at a wall hoping that it will stick. Basically, whenever you upload a video, it's like spinning a roulette wheel where you have to hope that you land on the right number and get your video actually recommended to someone. But by uploading more videos, you basically get more chances to spin the roulette wheel over and over again until hopefully you do land on the right number. Now, you could just continuously keep uploading videos and then just hope you actually get it recommended one day. But there might be a couple ways to improve your odds. And in my opinion, there are generally 3 ways you can do it. You can do it through topics, communities, and thumbnails. Let's start with topics. Basically, the topics that you cover in your video can change whether or not someone will actually stumble upon your video in the first place. For example, not everyone who could discover your videos will discover your video through their recommendations. They could also find your video from the search bar. So, if you cover topics that are frequently searched up on YouTube, then you might have a higher chance of being noticed. Of course, there's a sort of natural counterbalance to this effect. Typically, more popular topics that people would search for tend to be populated with a lot more videos already, meaning that your video could just easily get drowned out. So basically, for you to properly exploit this effect, you have to find a topic that people are interested in, but that there aren't any videos on them already. So good luck trying to find a topic like that nowadays. But this talk about topics actually kind of nicely segues into what I think the second way you can potentially improve your odds, and that's through communities. Now, what I mean by communities are basically just groups that are outside of YouTube. This could be a subreddit, a group of Twitter followers, or even a fan base of a specific media. So basically, the idea is that you can appeal to these outside communities in order to have a higher chance that someone will actually watch your video consistently. For example, there could be a really niche fan base that there aren't that many content creators making videos about that sort of thing. So if you start making videos for the fan base, you'll instantly get appeal to a dedicated fan base that almost has no choice but to watch your videos if they want to get any videos pertaining to whatever thing that they like. There are some problems with doing this though. For example, if you decide to appeal to a niche group or fan base, you might have some problems in terms of long-term growth. And if the fan base you cultivated is really only there to watch videos on that specific topic and not there to watch you as a person or as a creator, you could pretty quickly get stuck where none of your videos will ever be able to succeed beyond a certain point. So this strategy is a bit risky, especially if you're allowed to influence your channel too much. But enough of that. Now we get to talk about thumbnails. When I talked earlier about spinning the roulette wheel, I made it seem as if you only had to succeed in getting your video recommended to people. You know, you only had to land on that number once. But that's a lie. You actually have to succeed twice. You first have to get your video recommended to someone, and then you need to get that person to actually click on your video to watch it. This is where thumbnails are actually important, since they can increase the chances that someone will actually click and watch your video. So a thumbnail that stands out might help entice people to actually watch your video, even if your video doesn't have that many views. How you actually design and create a good thumbnail that is interesting is a subject for another video. The meta behind thumbnails is surprisingly deep and difficult to cover. If you want to look more into it, there are plenty of videos out there that cover the subject. But some good guidelines to follow would be make a unique thumbnail. If your thumbnail is the same as everyone else's, people won't feel compelled to click on it. Also, keep the thumbnail simple. A simple thumbnail can be much more effective than a thumbnail with 15 circles dotting all over it. Remember, people won't want to click on a complex thumbnail. It'll only make it easier for them to ignore it. Of course, something that you need to remember, in spite of everything I've said so far, is that what matters in the end of the day the most is the video itself. No good thumbnail will ever save a shitty video. Neither will topics or communities save that video. If in the end of the day your video is shit, no one is gonna want to watch it. So try to make good videos. So I just spent a decent amount of time showing how one can theoretically, slowly but surely, grow their YouTube channel to a decent size. But some people don't do this so slowly. In fact, sometimes they explode with growth. An example of this that I can think of would be Exclamation Point, where in his first video ever uploaded to YouTube, managed to get more than 100,000 views after just a week. Why is that? What made it so then his video exploded out of nowhere, while my video pathetically stayed stagnant? Well, for one, in the video that he made, he covered a topic that was very popular in a way that most people had never done before. My Hero Academia was all the rage 3 years ago, and there really hadn't been any videos analyzing it as deeply as Exclamation Point had. It also helped that his video had a really unique editing style that stood out from other anime YouTubers, along with his unique way of speaking that really helped to keep the viewer engaged into his video. It also helped that his video was actually good, whereas mine was not. So all of these factors, combined with just a bit of luck, is likely what propelled him onto the YouTube scene so quickly. So, does this mean that anyone can explode out of nowhere like this? Well, theoretically speaking, yes, but you have to remember, the people who explode like this are in the very, very small minority, and that the vast majority of popular YouTubers today started off growing their channel over time, with them only really getting to a large amount of growth when they hit about 100,000 subscribers. Plus, explosive growth might not be as good as it might seem. Sure, you grow really quickly, but many channels that explode quickly find it difficult to replicate their original success that brought them all that growth in the first place, and it might trap them into a vicious cycle where they can never perform as well as that one video did in their past. So I just spent all this time talking about a bunch of things about YouTube, but what did we actually learn today? Or, if I'm being honest, what did I learn today? Well, that first of all, no matter what, the quality of the video itself is the most important factor towards initial growth, no matter what. If you don't have a good video, you will never succeed. I think that we also learned that having a consistent upload schedule is extremely important, no matter what size you are, and that there's multiple ways that you can try to skew the algorithm odds into your favor. And we finally learned that while you can try to get explosive initial growth, it's very difficult to pull it off, and that explosive growth might come at a heavy cost. So that's it, I guess. That's all I really wanted to say in this video. You might be wondering why I made this video in the first place, and in all honesty, I don't really know why I did. I think I might have made this video because I wanted to reflect a bit more on why I didn't get anything out of YouTube with my first few videos. I knew I must have been clearly doing something wrong, but it wasn't until I actually started writing this script that I could clearly see where I went wrong. And if I'm being honest, I don't actually expect anyone to watch this video. Again, it would be nice if like 5 people watched this video. It would completely blow all of my other videos out of the water, but I don't actually see that happening. But I mean, hey, if by some miracle someone is actually watching this video, I hope that whatever I said in this video was actually helpful or was at least somewhat entertaining, and I hope that you have a good day, honestly. As for me, I need to edit the longest video I've ever made, so I guess I'll have that to look forward to. So, see you later, I guess.